Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Tartar's Queen Dragoness again, back with another video. And for the longest time, I have been thinking about how I was to discuss this topic. Because as it currently stands, my state, Texas, is going through a rough time, especially rebelling against my governor. Now, here's the thing. I've been in this state my entire life. And I can tell you that this state has a lot of issues. A lot of issues. And the current state of transgender children is among one of them. But before I get into it, I need to tell you this. For those of you who don't know, I have lived in this state for 38 of my years. And I could tell you that the state of parenting in my state, to a certain extent, has always been quite disturbing, to say the least. It's amazing that this state has an exorbitant problem with child abuse. As if it's not bad enough that predators are roaming around the state without a freaking care in the world. Now it seems that parents are taking advantage of this transgender trend to do harm to their children. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, how are we as parents mistreating our transgender children? Well, you are not listening to your kids. Let me give you a history lesson. Back in early 2000, there has been a trend, but like in the early 2000s, there has been a trend to where parents essentially pawned their children onto the education system. How did they do this? Because they blamed the teachers for not correctly teaching children certain social, political, or religious beliefs that their children, that the parents of the children wanted to teach them. That's called child neglect. And for almost 2 years, that has been a thing. At least from when I was paying attention to it. because I was done paying attention to that. How long afterwards that trend has been going on, I don't know, because it was gut wrenching to be hearing stories like that. That you do not take the time to know your children. That you would pawn your children onto teachers and daycares. Because maybe you don't want to deal with whining and crying. Maybe you don't like the fact that they ruined your hanky panky activities. Maybe uh, you essentially don't want to expose them to your shameful uh, activities, whether it be a drug use or whatnot. But whatever the case may be, even going as far as being indifferent to a parent's social, political, and belief and religious belief system. Heck, I've heard of parents putting a hit on their children after the age of 18 because they're part of the LGBT community. Just because your son plays with a Barbie doll house, just because your son plays with a My Little Pony car, doesn't mean that they're a girl. It just means that toys made for boys who are supposed to teach similar things don't really teach them anything that they want to learn. I mean, girls' toys that I've seen provide a better education than some boys' toys. How to remodel a car, redesign it, um, how to uh do I don't know, put decals on it, how to repaint. But you're saying, well, what about model cars? You just take a plastic thing, jab it on a bit of paint, and there you go. What about an already painted car? What about an already upholstered car? A model kit doesn't provide that. An already made train doesn't provide that. But a Barbie car does. What about a funhouse? You can reupholster that. While boys are left with maybe a few puzzle pieces, log, those little, you know, log toys, whatever the case may be. They don't teach the boy what they want to learn. And yet, for some odd reason, a girl's toy does. But some parents just don't want to see that. And they think, oh, maybe my son or daughter is a girl. No, no, that's not what it is. What about your daughter? Let's go there. Let's say that your daughter is into, oh, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe, oh, computer games, stuff for boys. Maybe they want to be in IT. Maybe they want to be a general for the US military or be an investigator for the CIA. Who knows? But you don't seem to be wanting to take the time to know your child, so what do? You go ahead and make it easier for you to deal with, change the child's gender, and then yada yada yada. Because it's easier that way. A child is not a tool. He or she is not a toy. She's there to learn from you, but you just don't want to take the time to do it. It reminds me of that situation back in the early 2000s when when parents just pawned their kids off to the education system. It's disgusting, it's abhorrent. And it just doesn't stop there. No, 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 it just doesn't stop there. It gets much worse. People, it gets much worse. Because there are parents out there who are so hardcore religious, so hardcore in social structure beliefs and political righteousness that any indifference that a child has, they get punished for it. They're gay, they get penetrated. They're trans, they get the surgery as punishment. Because they would think because the parents think it would be funny to see their child suffer because of their indifference. What about when your child says that they want to be a girl? Maybe they want to learn about what a girl does, what a girl thinks, maybe the female body, maybe something about the girl that intrigues them that they want to learn about. But no, you say, okay, they want to be a girl. I'll support my child in being a girl. That's just silly and dumb. Again, child neglect, which falls under child abuse. Because they don't have to deal with it. And because of these sick minded individuals, and they do exist, people, and I did know they existed, but they punish their kids by giving them what they want, and they laugh about it. They laugh at their faces, and I've heard that they would tell their children in their adult life, you got what you deserved, you spawn of Satan. So, Greg Abbott, all I gotta say is that this is a problem that needs to be resolved. And it angers me even a lot more that there are people in the business industry, people like Elliot Page, who essentially essentially support the death of these children. So I ask you this, Elliot Page. Are you strong-willed enough to go to the child's grave and tell them you're sorry for putting them through hell? Because that's essentially what you're going to have to do one of these days to one of these children. Mr. Greg Abbott, I will tell you this right now. Do what you got to do to help these children out. And if I have to, I know I'm probably not going to be very out there in the public eye. But I hope that one of these days I can show my complete and utter rage toward these individuals that put their children in harm's way. So for those of you people who are being loudmouth, saying that you are supporting your child's transgender in this, I'm watching you. I'm paying attention to who you are. Because you are part of one of two parties. Either you're completely ignorant, or you literally are a psychotic human being who doesn't deserve to bring such a precious life on this planet. And for those of you of the latter, I would love to put the dirt over your grave. I would love to sit in front of a television screen with a camera facing you while I laugh hysterically at you as you suffer for the rest of your life behind bars. You don't deserve to call yourself a parent. With that being said, requiescat in pace.